Hello, I'm in the studio of Dan White, who's going to help me today with a video on Nijushiho. Now, the applications I'm going to show are not the only applications of Nijushiho, they're just my interpretation of this form. And what I'd like to show today is how every single movement in the form could be related to my chosen application of the opening sequence. And by the opening sequence, I mean moving from this position, coming back, coming in, and coming up. So I'm going to relate every single movement, every single tactic in the kata to that particular sequence. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get into a position where I'm underhooking. So we could do this via a punch, so a punch could come in and I shield. Attack with a shooty hooky, I then come under and offline. There's lots of different ways that you can come from this position in and back. And one of the things they all have in common is a good way, once you come in here, around under the arm, is to get an optimum pull, to come down and back. He's working on the end of his arm. He's very flexible in his shoulders, so he moves easily. Other people are moving more on the end of the triceps with my push down. In this position, I can get a strike if he raises up, so any kind of resistance here, I haven't got it on properly, I can get that strike, I can grab, and I can shift upwards. Now in the form, having come in, we raise the elbow. If I turn in this direction, Dan is here in a basic figure 4 position. If he's really short compared to me, he'd probably already be in trouble now. If he's got very tight shoulders, he'd probably already be extremely tight here now. But he's got very flexible shoulders. So for me to put this hold on him, I need to raise his arm and raise his hand. Now he's going to put his hand on mine. When it's uncomfortable, he will tap. And that's all I need to do. And the good thing is, from this position, I can turn and sweep my arms downwards, and down he goes. If he is less cooperative on the turn and he moves, but he doesn't go down, so I'm here and he just swings in front of me, then I have a double punch position, depending on how I want to do things. So, we have a basic figure 4. I could be behind, I could suboptimally be in front. At this position, if this isn't on properly, if he rises up, I have a crashing inability, whether with my arm or with the body, and coming up into him here and down. Similarly, the rise up position here looks very similar to an agioki type position. So from here I have the chew down option of countering this way. The strike, you'll notice, also helps protect me against any technique from his upper body. I have the chew down option as well, so as he comes up, I have the chew down option, and I have a tate shuto or shuto option. Depending on my relative position, I could be more around this way, which means that from this position, if he's rising up, here I have a knee tactic and out and re-establish this position, and at any point in time from there, I can pull back again and he rise up from him, he's back into that punch. And he rise up from him, in addition to the tate and kick, I've also got from this position entering low level here, strike to the leg, and inside, low level, strike to the groin or the inside thigh, strike to the face. All those are options for me. On entering, on moving, on doing any of these techniques, I also have hooking ability that comes in as per the form. So I can hook this way, I can bring them in tight this way. If I bring them in tight this way, moving that way, down he goes. Great fun to do that. That also works from here. So having come up, and you're going to move, you're going to move down. You have those distancing options available for you. I've also got, in this position, rising up, spinning round. So moving in, here, in this position as he rises up. If I feel that something isn't quite right, I have my spin and movement round available for me. Now, every single movement has been shown as a redundancy for this, as a failure in my walk and movement position here. But similarly, almost every single position, haymaker comes in, shielding, crashing, coming around this way, in, through. Every single movement can be related to percussive tactics, haymakers and the shields, could be related to grabbing tactics and any kind of grabbing movement, and again, shielding, coming in, all depending on relative positions. So, although I've linked every single movement to the figure 4, they all stand alone as basic combative elements that can be part of normal habitual acts of violence, such as haymakers, pushes, grabs, even headbutts, and any kind of shielding like that. But what I've also done is tied every single movement back to this particular sequence. So Nijushiho as a complete kata, all related to the starting movement, working through from a figure 4 failure into redundancies and re-achieving that figure 4, or exiting the figure 4, exiting the situation by pushing, shifting, punching, moving the person away from you. An entire kata in a short space of time. Thank you. Okay, so if you were paying attention, you'd realise that we missed a technique. So here it is. Same position, in here. Okay, he rises up, slam across the face in that sense. Could be an arm winding across the body, in here. Could be, although not really good for self-defence, across the throat. The reason why I say not good for self-defence, if I'm restraining him, it's because I don't want to injure him all that much. So I'm kind of negating that if I then slam him across the throat. So this is possibly across the head, which should, in theory, end it. Otherwise, both arms come up together. I now step down offline. And I have different striking options. So one more time. In this position, he comes up. I can reach. Notice I stepped up. If I stay down here and try and reach, it's harder. If I step up, I get that reach. I now got his head.